Good morning. Today we're starting the virtue of patience, which in my personal life has been one of my biggest struggles. And what I've come to realize, patience is very closely tied to selflessness. And I have spent most of my life being very impatient. Oh my goodness, I've been praying to God to help me with that for years. And I realize when I've been selfish is when I'm so impatient. So think about that. Do you want everything on your own time? Do you want everything to go the way you want it to go? That's what kind of leads to our impatience. And I think our world just keeps us going at such a fast pace. And one of the things we have to learn to do is to slow down and be in some quiet time. God speaks to us in the quiet. And if we're never quiet, when is he going to speak to us? Think about how cunning the devil is. How quiet is our world? Not very. Television, the internet, the cell phone. None of those things are bad in of themselves, but just think about what the cell phone has done to the quiet in our lives. If there was one way to prevent us from having a quiet time for God to speak to us, it is to have that cell phone be in everybody's hand at every minute. I mean, just look at the world around you when you go and do things. When you go to a restaurant, families, young couples that are dating are on their phones. They aren't even connecting with each other sometimes, and it just becomes a habit. I don't think that means that anybody's a bad person, and I've fallen into that as well, but it just becomes habit. I'm just amazed when I go to, for instance, on the mission trip, and we go to the children's theater, and it's this amazing experience, and everybody's dressed up. Well, we aren't on the mission trip, don't worry, guys. But most of the people that come, it's like a really exciting night out. And when they have intermission and the lights come up, we're usually sitting somewhere towards the back, and I can look out over everyone in front of us, and it is just makes my heart break with the number of parents that are sitting with their kids at this wonderful thing, and immediately the minute that intermission starts, they're all on their phones. There's just no time for quiet. And just to look around and appreciate the people that you're with and the people that you don't even know, but they're God's creation. The grocery store, if you ever go with your parents, how many of you ever go with your mom or dad to the grocery store? Have you ever looked around when people are waiting in line? Most of them people are on their phones, because the minute you have a spare second, it's pull out your phone to, I don't know, my life maybe is kind of boring, but I don't know what I would possibly have that would be so, randomly, yes, maybe I'm waiting for a specific message, but generally, what would I possibly be looking at that's going to take me away from the world around me and the people around me? And in those quiet moments where we aren't just putting things into our brain at this reckless pace, that's when we can let God speak to us. And we can pray. Pray unceasingly. Have you ever thought about praying unceasingly? How on earth could you pray unceasingly? Well, I can tell you how we can start is we put away the devices and we look around us. And even when we're standing in line at the grocery store and you see a mom who maybe is struggling with a little kid who's throwing a tantrum because they can't get something from that beautiful display they put right by the cash register, maybe just saying a prayer to give her strength, to let her know that she's doing okay. Maybe you'd see somebody who's just struggling with health and you just say a silent prayer, God, please help them today. Help them feel your presence. Just those little things And God will use those moments. But somehow we live in a world where, is it any surprise that there's something that's trying to get rid of those moments for us? So we can't connect with not only each other, but connect with God. And the way that ties in with patience is for us to be able to be quiet and content. This week, I really want you to focus on that in the classroom. So think about when you finish early, or when you have a downtime for just a moment. How many times do you just sit and just be quiet? It's hard to do. Most of us want to talk right away to our neighbor. Most of us would love to open that iPad and click on something that literally is probably mind-numbing. But this week, patience, waiting. Isn't that what patience is? It's just waiting with a positive attitude. And it's all about that attitude. Impatience is when you're waiting and you're like, why can't I do what I want to do right now? I'm driving my car. Why are these people in my way? Why are they driving so slowly? Why is this person making me late? Why? And it's all about me. And that's where all that frustration and that impatience comes from. And maybe when you're driving in the car and somebody's in front of you, maybe God help that person today. Maybe we never know what somebody's going through. Maybe they're struggling with something. Maybe they've been so sick and they can barely find the energy to get out of the house and do something, and maybe that's why they're driving so slowly. We just never know. But those moments when instead we want to be irritated, have you ever felt like my impatience? That is the opposite of peace. I can tell you if you've never experienced that. If in those moments I turn to God instead, when I'm thinking about God and I'm praying for somebody, I can't feel that angst in my heart. And that's the beautiful thing that we're searching for with virtue. So in the classroom this week in particular, and anywhere else that in your personal life you know that you struggle with patience, maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's a parent telling you to clean your room, whatever the case might be, just calm your mind and just talk to God. God, help me just be patient right now. Help me just to wait. That would be, I think, part of an amazing transformation, because I think you would feel the peace in your heart. And that's what we're really searching for. And when we feel peace in our heart, it's not just peace. That's God. And that's you being connected to God. And isn't that the entire purpose of everything we do? So let's really work on that this week. Let's just step out of this crazy busy world, this crazy busy device-filled blips of energy coming at us all the time. Let's just step out of that for a minute and just calm down, slow down, and let patience fill us, which is going to connect us to God our Father. Pray about that this week.